Welcome back to Squawk. I'm Bruce Whitfield. The annual fee for a television license, I'm so terrified of this annual fee increase that I can't even say the word properly. It will increase, it's the thing you're watching us on. It's the increase of 15 Rand, from 250 Rand to 265 Rand a year. It equates to an increase of just 1 Rand 25 per month, or a 6% increase in TV licenses with effect from the 1st of September. It's the fourth tariff increase the SABC has been granted in the past 14 years. The last one was in 2009. But our question is, what does that money actually get used for? Anybody got a clue?
I don't know. I haven't watched SABC 1, 2, 3, 4 since since what, 14 years ago?
Since 14 years ago, probably. And that's the great tragedy of it. But however, it is legislated that you need to pay a license. Now, let's assume there are 10 million TVs in the country. That's 250 million Rands worth of income a year. That's not bad money. Or was it more than that? 2.5 billion Rands worth of income. How much is it?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. This is good income for the SABC, which constantly runs at a loss. Okay, so this is our supporting the South African Broadcasting Corporation.
What do they what they might bill so many people? Do they actually receive it?
I do my best to hold out as long as possible, but once they start threatening to hand me over to lawyers, I then pay at the last minute.
But how many people really do pay that license? Yeah. You know, that's one of the issues. And I suppose you need a license if you're going to buy a television set, although I can't remember ever having submitted a license the last time I bought a TV set.
Well, I bought one fairly recently and I was asked I had to produce a license. So I had to take the little card and take it along and say, I do have a TV license, and they're so fine, thank you very much. Because they can actually have big fines, the retailers can. But in a slower economy, where people are not buying TVs nearly as often as perhaps they used to, the SABC's got a bit of a problem, because suddenly, if people don't need to provide their TV licenses, they can just contact the SABC and say, I no longer have a television set. And the SABC's not going to come around and have a look, are they? They're certainly not going to get over the wall. They can't get water meter guys.
Do we get any information? I don't know. I never have a look at those public accounts.
It's too depressing.
Well, because they're normally qualified.
Absolutely. Okay. So let's dump it. It was a bad idea. All right. There we go. Let's move on to what was a bad idea. But
I say the only people who I also want to know is Investec Bank, because there the fees go up, I think. In fact, the SABC can learn from Investec in terms of increasing. You know, maybe it can turn into a fairly good business.
It wasn't long ago that the annual fee for an Investec was ridiculous, and the monthly fee was like 150 bucks a month or something. They have worked it up to the fact that they can get away with a lot to because their customers love them so much. And this week they passed through an 18% increase on Investec Bank
from 295, which was already high, to I think 350, you know, a month.
Yes,
that's a month.
Now you're paying proper bank charges.
Yeah, now we're paying serious bank charges to Investec.
Are you going to change your account?
Now I want a black card for that one.
But the point is that bank charges in the retail space have been under huge pressure. So FNB has been instrumental in driving down bank charges for ordinary customers. And if you walk backwards into the branch, they don't charge you. You walk forwards, they do, but you've got to know the secrets of it. And with FNB, you do stuff electronically. You don't go over your limits. You can bank fairly cheaply. But the private banks are actually realizing that if you actually ever want to speak to a human being face to face, or at least one-on-one, to somebody you might recognize, well, then you have to pay for the privilege. Investec, RMB, Nedbank Private Wealth, all of these guys have got nice packages, but they're big money.
And you pay a fortune for the green and the yellow and the pink and all of those cards. And when you're in London at Selfridges and you go up there and you're buying your underpants or your socks, they don't care what color card it is. They give a card, slice here, boom, boom. So you can use your ordinary, I don't know, FNB card. No one really cares.
Which chief executive of a listed company uses an African bank credit card?
That's a trick question.
That's Leon Kakinis. He is the chief executive of African Bank. He very proudly, he did two things. I went to go see him this week just for a chat, and he said, and I said to him, I just asked people on Twitter what I should ask you. And he said, yeah, I know what Twitter is. Have you seen my cell phone? And he pulls out a Nokia that is about that big. It doesn't even have a model number on it anymore. You can't even tell what it is. It is so scratched and battered and bruised. The battery life is like 10 days. And he says, and even that he switches off sometimes so that nobody can bug him. He uses an African bank credit card, and he doesn't even get air miles apparently. But yeah, he's making a point. It works. It's a Visa branded credit card. That's all.
That's all that really counts.
So why have you still got an Investec account?
I promise you, without taking too much, I go to New York often to visit my daughter, etc. And if you use your normal Master Gold or whatever card it is, no one ever complains. As soon as you've got an American Express Platinum, already there, you can't, unless you've advised the people here, etc. I just use my MasterCard.
Nedbank gives you an American Express and a Visa because they know no one's going to take the American
Well,
Express.
No one takes American.
the big retailers still do, but I wonder if that American Express model is not going to have to go the way of the dustbin. The man called Graham Holmes at Nedbank, who shouts at me every time I'm rude about his American Express product, but
Drive it hard.
people
You
are
get
taking it.
double greenbacks for that.
Oh, double air miles.